Josh Hunter. I'm presently in the city of Santa Monica, California. A couple of things I'd like to say. I'd like to introduce. I'd like to introduce a new term. So sometimes I get the idea that one or many people seem to believe that I'm like an alien or like an extraterrestrial or something. So, like sincerely, they're sincerely like, oh, this guy, he's a flesh and blood extraterrestrial. So sometimes like I play it up, like I, it's like, all right, you guys want to believe that? All right, go, good on ya. In order to address this situation, I came up with this slang term. Like, if I were an alien, like an extraterrestrial, this would be my slang term for humans. Like, it's like a derogatory term. So, so if you're like an extraterrestrial or an alien, and you want like a derogatory term for humans, here's what you call it. It's a slowgram. Slowgram. Just call them slowgrams. It's like program, but instead of pro, you say slow. So it's like, oh man, these fucking slowgrams don't really know what's going on, do they? No, they don't. Okay. So, another thing I want to bring up, I found another way to define this attitude that I've been observing in people. And the attitude is like, oh, we definitely know that we're not making any mistakes. As I'm talking to people from day to day, they seem to be, I wouldn't call it confidence, because it's not the type of feeling that can even lead to arrogance, I think anyway. It's just, maybe it's like a sleepiness or something. And so, what it reminded me of, I'm not sure if you've ever seen, okay, so anyway, about maybe 6 months ago, 10 months ago, I don't remember, I was in Santa Monica, and I was, and like I said, I don't like to bring up celebrities. It's not like something that I like to do, but when it has a function, when it's helpful, and I'm not just like name dropping or whatever, like when I perceive it as having some functional value as a benefit to my life and to society with which I am associated. Okay. So I was walking, and I was at 3rd and Wilshire, 3rd Street Promenade in Wilshire, and I was sitting there, and Daisy Ridley had walked by, and I was walking one way, and she was walking by, and she passed by, and she said like, oh, I think this is like the Banana Republic or something, because it's right next to that store, Banana Republic. It's not there anymore, but it was unusual. Like I'm not like some like chaser or whatever, but I got this. I don't know. I felt very safe. I don't know why. Like I felt like extremely safe. I had not felt like as I was passing by, I got like this whole like just, and not like safety that I'm used to either, because you have things which make you feel normal, which is similar to safe, but this is more like, oh, like safety, being able to distinguish the difference between safe and normal. Just because it's normal doesn't mean that it's safe, is what I'm saying. So anyway, later on that night, I was listening to this rendition of, it was an a cappella rendition of that song Hollywood Nights by Bob Seger. And I had heard the song before, but I'd only heard the a cappella version once. And I just happened to hear it on the radio. And it's a great fucking song. Like I'm not very familiar with Bob Seger, but like it's a great song. I mean, to me, like anyway. But there's a line in this song that's called where it goes. He said he was too far from home. Okay, he was too far from home. Sorry, my singing is. Oh, now I'm nervous. Okay, anyway. So that line, being too far from home. That's when I look out at like the people of Earth and the people who I'm dealing with on a daily basis, these people don't seem to have any idea of what it feels like to be too far from home. Like, like because this behavior, like the way people are acting, like these are not people who have ever been too far from home. Because if you had ever been too far from home, you would know not to act like this. Is what I'm saying. Like, this behavior is atrocious. In human beings, children, adults, everyone. You guys have no fucking idea what it's like to be too far from home. And I think it's an insult to everything good or everything entirely. So, I just want I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to make sure that that I didn't forget that as well, because it was such a... Because if you hear the a cappella version too, because when I was listening to the radio, that song Hollywood Nights, they were talking about the a cappella version where you can hear him breathing like in between like lines, you know. It's... You don't normally hear that on songs these days, you know, because they always just clean everything out. And so it was like it was an a cappella song. Hang on, I can't tell if I'm... But it's like, I don't know, like it makes you really... It does communicate something that it communicates to... Anyway. So I thought it was nice, and... but yeah, that specifically that line, it very correctly defines this feeling that because I'm not necessarily saying that I understand what it means to be too far from home, but like I know what it's like to be far from home, and I don't like that very much. I don't like that at all. So I just, you know, I want people to... I guess sometimes you need to have that experience to be too far away, but I would like to believe that it's not necessary. Like, you could figure that out before you get to that point. But all of my math, all of my numbers are telling me that people are heading towards this thing. Oh shit, I can't. There. People are heading towards this thing, and where they'll be in a position where they're too far away. Too far away from the things that are actually home to them. And I'm not just talking about, space travel, planet Earth, because I mean it should be obvious that that's a bad idea. Okay, it should be obvious. I can't believe you guys are still spending billions of dollars on it. You haven't done the math. Okay, you haven't. You got... That's why I'm saying it all looks very sleepy. You can't be a person spending billions of dollars on these programs and you haven't... You still got people starving in the gutters. You still got people dying in the streets. You still got drug addictions. What do you think those things will be like when you also have to worry about running out of oxygen and gravity? If you haven't solved these things, then they're only going to be amplified by being in that situation. Like, it looks really stupid to me. Sorry. Like, you guys need to shut these programs down. Shut down NASA. Okay? Shut down, Blue Origin. Shut down Virgin Galactic. Any of these, SpaceX, shut down SpaceX. These are bad ideas. And I don't know why it's taking you guys so long to figure it out. Like, these are bad ideas. Bad. Do the math, please. Not just, can we do this, or getting from point A to point B. I'm talking about like really do the math. Take everyone into consideration, because you are only taking into consideration people you think who will be able to afford this. And you assume that the problems of the people who can't afford it aren't going to follow you, aren't going to follow the people who can afford it. That somehow, well, we can afford it, other people can't, whoever can't, well, fuck them. Okay? And then once you go off on your way, or whatever your plans for space exploration are, then what? You think those problems are just going to go away? You think those ghosts aren't going to fucking haunt you? So please, understand that there is a type of subtle unity amongst and between man and mankind. And when you ignore this unity, when you ignore that every human being is connected, when you ignore that, okay, you're gonna get into trouble. Okay, that's what racism is. In some ways, you're ignoring you're ignoring connections. You're ignoring your connection from one person to another. You say this person's life has nothing to do with me. And like I said earlier, sometimes racism is just one is a way that some people are simply trying to defend their way of life. Sometimes it's not even hate. They simply just want to make sure that they don't lose their way. Sometimes. But it's important to remember that all human beings are connected. You can find evidence of this in very many things, and hopefully you will not prefer the verbose or explicit definition of this unity. So yeah, I just wanted to, I don't know, I'm not like a fan of people, but I still don't want to see people suffering needlessly. Like excessive suffering is kind of, I don't know, it's a bit much. Yeah. Okay, I also wanted to introduce a new term. I don't know if this term is real or if this is already a slang term that I don't know about. But I think when you when you use a knife or something to stab someone or whatever, I think it should be called like a bite. This may already be the case, but and you call a knife like a tooth or something. I don't know about the whole tooth thing. No, not the tooth. But like when someone gets stabbed, you say, "Oh, he bit him." He bit him. And when you were referring to stabbing, it should be called a bite. B-I-T-E. Alright. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that. Oh yeah, and also I don't want this video to encourage the stabbing of any human being, and if at all possible, let me encourage the feeling and vibration of not getting stabbed, and wherever it is needless to stab another human being, let that feeling and vibration be established here at no excessive cost to me and at no unpleasant cost to me. I do greatly discourage violence, physical violence, emotional violence, and mental violence. Violence is a poor way to achieve anything. Like I have said before, only poor people get angry. Alright, if you want to know if you're rich or poor, if you're getting angry, that means you're poor. It's very simple. You never see extremely rich people getting angry. Or not for very long anyway, once they remember that they're rich. But only a poor person is going to get angry. So, no stabbing. No knives, stabbing weapons. Sorry. Anyway, no, that was impolite. It was impolite. Sorry, I don't mean to be impolite. I'm just, I'm a little stressed, and I'm doing my best to remain diplomatic. And I can't. I don't have any support out here. I mean, I got the sun and I got the earth supporting me. So technically, I have tons of fucking support. So I'm not gonna say, yeah, you know what? I got plenty of support. I don't need it. Extraterrestrial. Okay, sorry. All right. So yeah, I think that's it. Is there anything else? I'm 33 years old, and I have the best grades on earth.